Botanical Brian here at Colonial Gardens, and welcome to week number 9 of the Colonial Kids Club Learning Garden. So there's so many exciting things going on this week. Last week, Farmer Bryn showed us how to do our final harvest on our cool season vegetables. So we made some great salads. They were so tasty, so delicious, and that was lots of fun. And Farmer Bryn also showed us how to clean out our bag and left us with some soil for our next project. So the next project is our pollinator garden. And the things that you're gonna need for our pollinator garden is our bag from our cool season vegetables with all the stuff taken out and nice and smoothed out. If you haven't done that yet, that's okay. You can go ahead and just take a week back, and you can start this process next week if your vegetables haven't matured or if you haven't done your final harvest. So we're going to need our bag. We're going to need our little baby pollinator plants that are in our small pots. We need a scissors. You guys might want to use a trowel. I like to use my hands. I like to get my hands dirty when I garden, so I'm going to use my hands, but I'll show you how to use the trowel as well. And our watering can. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to take our cosmos, and we have 2 of those. And you know, if some of your stuff didn't make it, plant what you got. Plant what made it and just go on with it. You can also add a few seeds or something like that if you want. But we've got plenty of plants to fill up that bag, even if some of yours did not make it. So let's get started. We're going to take our hands. I like to take my hands and use all 4 fingers to make a little hole in the soil. And then we're going to place these cosmos in, and we're going to place them kind of deep, about 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches, and we're going to cover them all the way up. And we're going to cover the pot and the stems and everything all the way up. Now, just for reference, I have the Plant Right logo at the front. That's the front of our pot, and we're going to be planting the cosmos to the back of the pot. We're going to take our other cosmos, and we're just going to make our hole with our fingers. And we're going to set it in there and cover it up. And we'll leave our tag in there so we know what that is. Now next, we're going to do our zinnias, and we're going to do the zinnia in the middle of the pot. I'm going to use our shovel just to show how it's done with the shovel. We're going to make our little hole with our shovel. Set the zinnia down in there. Put the soil back up over it. All right, so now we are to our herbs. We're going to do our fennel. And we'll do that right to the side of the zinnia. We're not going to go as deep because it's not as tall. Next, we're going to do our dill on the other side. Again, not very deep because it's not very tall. And if you guys remember last week, I showed you my parsley that barely came up, and I'm going to go ahead and plant it because I have faith in this parsley, and it's going to come on, and it's still going to be great. So I'm going to plant my little baby parsley in the very front, and I'm going to leave him sticking out a little bit because I don't want to bury him because he's not very big yet. And I'm still thinking maybe another seed will germinate out of there too. And now it's ready to be watered. So we're going to take our watering can, just like we did with our cool season vegetables, and we're going to soak it down real good. In this first watering, we're going to really soak it good. Make sure that you water right on top of the plants, and as you're watering during the week, make sure that you check, as you check your water, feel down in there and feel those pots, and make sure the pots are wet, because even though the soil around them might be wet, it hasn't rooted out into the bag yet. So double check to make sure that the soil that is around the pots is nice and wet. I'm going to let that soak in, and I'm going to give it another good soaking. Really get them good. Alrighty, those are good and wet. So here we are on our second planting of our learning garden. It's real exciting what's going to happen with these, and I can't wait as the weeks go on to see all of your pictures of how these are going to develop. We'll see you next week.